Hi, so I want to show you a granny square, which is a really basic crochet pattern. It's probably equivalent, or it is equivalent, of a piggy square in knitting. I don't really knit, but these are sometimes called piggy squares as well. But they are granny squares, and the pattern is called a granny square. So this is the magic circle from my previous tutorial, or the tutorial that's going to come if I haven't published them right. So this is the magic circle here. And you don't have to do a magic circle for this pattern because it's so holy anyway. Having a hole in the center actually looks normal. It looks like it should be there. So I'm just using the magic circle because I had it, and why not? And what I'd done is I'd actually done 12 stitches around here. So working on the number 12, I divided it into 4 to give me the 4 corners. And that means that each one corner plus side is going to be 3. So I did 3 stitches in the one corner, and then I jumped 2. So the 3 stitches, one of those stitches belongs in that hole, and then the 2 holes that I jumped would essentially make up for the 2 extra that I did in the same stitch. And then without doing a chain or anything, I just stretched it across to do the next corner, doing 3 stitches, but then I chained 2 to make the corner, so there is a gap of 2 there. And then 3 stitches again, jumping 2, 3 stitches, chaining 2, jumping to 3 more stitches on the corner, jumping to the next one, 3 stitches, chaining 2, 3 stitches, and then jumping over to the next corner, and around we go like that, making up that pattern. And then on the next row up that I've been working on here, when I finished, I was over here, so I just did a slip stitch till I was in that hole, and then I did 2 more stitches, so that's the turning stitch plus 2 more to make 3, and then stretching out across to the corner, and it's simply repeating the pattern on and on. So starting out with the 12 starting stitches, I suppose you'd call it, I then doubled the number on the next row. So the 12 here became 24 up here, but more than that because I also had the extra stitch in the corner space. So double, and then I'm not too sure if we're going to double on this row or is it a third more on this row, but each time we're doing substantially more stitches because of this corner bit and because of these bits that are coming in the middle here as well. Oops. If we didn't, we would just end up with a tunnel, which would be great if we were making socks or gloves or something like that. But we need to keep quite a few more stitches in to keep it flat and to keep it square, to keep it nice like that. A hat would be a time that you would use this. You would go out so far, maybe out as far as this one, and then you'd stop increasing so that you're getting the tube of the hat. But for this, we want it to lay flat. And you don't have to do it in a square like this. You don't actually have to do it from the starting hole. I could have done a long chain. I could have done a chain of, a couple of hundred or something like that if I wanted to make a blanket, and then done this pattern on the chain. So perhaps doing a foundation row and then going 3, missing 2, doing 3, missing 2, doing 3, missing 2. So I'm essentially doing the same number of stitches in that case that I have created, and I'm not adding any more in. I'm just putting them out in a different pattern. But however, I'll carry on with this one here. So that's another thing. I'm not going through the stitch. This would be the stitch here. And you can do that. You can go through the stitch hole. Can you see that? Where are we? Through there. But I like to go through the actual space. Oh, now I've lost my yarn over. I like to go through the actual space because it gives it more of a clean look, I think. You don't have the bottom half of the stitch hanging down below. So just working around like that, 3 in that space, and then stretching it out to the corner. I'm not doing a chain or anything. Oh, it looks like I've done 3 chain in the previous round on this hole, but I'm not going to worry about that too much because crochet is quite forgiving, if I was being perfectionist and pedantic, and my younger self probably would have, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And if I gave this as a gift to someone and they picked that up and noticed it, then I probably wouldn't give them another gift. That's just the way that works. So there we go. I've come back round. I just want to show you, I lost my turning chain the first time there. I just want to show you the slip stitch again. So there we go. And now I'm back to where I started. So this is the end of the row. I want to join it into the top of my beginning one, which is actually the chain that I did to begin. So I'm just gonna go in there, and there's probably some rule, but yeah, I just sort of put it in where it looks right, up near the top. But I do get it through the front and the back loops, if you can see that there. I'll just try and separate them a bit more. Yeah, through the front and the back loops, just so it's quite strongly on there. Oops. And I'm doing slip stitch, so I didn't do yarn over to begin. I've simply got my starting loop on and the loop that I've just created, and now I'm just going to pull that loop I've just created through, so it just joins it nice and flatly. And then on this row I'm going to do 3 and 3, and then 6 in the corner with the 2 in between. So each time you're just coming into these spaces to pick them up. And I'll turn it around, and yeah, I'll do a chain here and then just begin again through the next one. Oh, I only did a chain of 2. That's not going to look right. That's going to pull its end down a bit. So chain of 3 for your doubles, through and through, through and through. And so that's your basic granny pattern. Around and around and around you go. As I say, I started off with 12 here, so that became 24 on the top. Because it was 12, I divided it by 4 to get my 4 corners, which gave me 3. And so then I would do my corner, miss 2, because that's 1, 2, 3, do another corner, 1, 2, do another corner, 1, 2, another corner, all around. So each corner has 6 in it with a chain of 2 in between, and then these bits here are just stretched over. There's no actual chain in the middle, and then I've used the space instead of the stitch to create the next row. Let me know if you've got any questions, post a comment, and enjoy making your wee squares.